But by all means, the biggest story that we're following for you right now has to do with what turns out to be a hoax, a story that we here at CNN chose yesterday not to go with because it seemed like either A, an isolated incident, or B, and maybe both, an incident that needed to be really thoroughly vetted and checked out before it was reported by any news organization. Unfortunately, it was reported by several news organizations, and as a result, the story is now looking like it has to be turned around. It's about this young lady. Her name is Ashley Todd. She is 20 years old. You see that B there on her cheek. Her story is that yesterday, while she was at an ATM in Pittsburgh, she was taking out money when she was robbed by a, quote, big black man. 6'4", she said that he was. Apparently that man, she went on to say, held her to the ground, attacked her, and then carved that B on her cheek. She called the police, reported it, and since then the story has been going around talk radio and several news organizations. It is now being reported by police in Pittsburgh that the story was a lie, that it was made up, that what she said about that man putting that B and being a supporter of Barack Obama and telling her that she needed to support Barack Obama, according to these reports, was a lie. In fact, the Pittsburgh police has reported as such. This is Marita Bryant. She is an assistant chief for the Pittsburgh Police Department. She came on moments ago to give reporters some of the details. Let's take a listen.
All of our radars went up. But this was such a case to where, I mean, we had some serious cases going on, and this wasted so much time. It wasted so much time. Detectives have been working through the night just to verify the information that we suspected was false from the very beginning. So it's just a lot of wasted man hours.
And there was a racial inference here as well.
It could have really blown up into something, a national incident, and I'm glad that we quickly resolved the case and found the truth.
Just to give you some more details on this story, as the report came out yesterday, she told police that she was attacked, as I had aforementioned, attacked by a 6'4" black man. He says that she said to him, "You are going to be a Barack supporter," pinned her to the ground and scratched the letter B on her right cheek. As you can see there, in a later account, she came on to say that she actually lost consciousness and wasn't quite sure how much money he had taken or when he had actually scarred her face. That's when police started to wonder whether her story was really going to check out. They had her take a polygraph, a lie detector exam. She failed the test. That's when police moved on. Prior to the police deciding that the story needed to be checked out, she had gotten reports Thursday and had prompted the calls from the Republican presidential candidate and his running mate, Sarah Palin, to call Todd to express their concern. Barack Obama's campaign had also called and issued a statement wishing Todd well and hoping the attacker would be swiftly brought to justice. Again, part of the story is the fact that it was reported by the media. We would not be telling the story now had it not been carried by so many outlets. As I mentioned before, it was mentioned on, as a matter of fact, I have a list. Not to mention names, but the initials of the news organizations are Fox News, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and Newsday. Also, radio talk show hosts went on their radio stations and talked ad infinitum about this story yesterday. One of them even seemingly being braggadocious about it when he was on the air with our own Wolf Blitzer yesterday. Take a listen.
The big story of the afternoon, Wolf, is that a McCain campaign volunteer was assaulted in Pittsburgh, had the letter B carved in her cheek. Yesterday, Norm Coleman's house in Minnesota was attacked. He was threatened. The FBI is investigating. There's a lot of extraordinarily disturbed people out there. They're on both sides, but the big issues the last 2 days have come from that side.
By the way, we should mention that the McCain campaign does want us to point out that she was a phone bank operator for the McCain campaign. She was not a paid worker of the campaign. She was a volunteer for the John McCain campaign.